This is the J. Scott Outdoors podcast on Western big game hunting and fishing, brought to you by GoHunt.com Insider. Research faster, hunt more. Go to GoHunt.com/insider and use the J. Scott promo code when signing up to receive a $50 KUIU gift card. I'm your host, J. Scott, and I live and breathe hunting and fishing, spending half the year in the field experiencing God's creation. I hope you'll enjoy hearing about our adventures. Guys, welcome to the J. Scott Outdoors podcast. Today is going to be a fun episode with Adam McLain of Bivvy Productions. And for those of you that aren't familiar with Adam's work, you should go check out his YouTube channel at Adam McLain. That's ADAMMCLAIN. He does phenomenal work, and we're going to get to hear about it today. I'd like to thank GoHunt.com Insider for their title sponsorship of this podcast. They've been with me since about the 5th episode of this podcast. And I'd also like to point out that their draw odds in the Insider, they finally released the draw odds, and I've been going through my Utah and Colorado applications, looking at what hunts that I'm going to try and draw this fall, and the draw odds calculator has been awesome to work with. So guys, I wanted to point that out. I wanted to also thank GoHunt.com Insider for their sponsorship of this podcast and announce the Go Hunt Insider giveaway for February is going to be, they've actually partnered up with another sponsor here on the podcast, The Outdoorsmans, and GoHunt.com Insider February giveaway is 6 Outdoorsman's machined aluminum tripods and heads of the Insider's choice. Now, there's all sorts of sizes and different models of the Outdoorsman's tripod and the different tripod heads, so go to outdoorsmans.com to check out those different tripods and tripod heads to see which one you'd like. But first, you have to be an Insider member to win. Anybody that's an Insider member every month has a chance to win. They've given away hunts. They've given away great gear, KUIU sleeping bags, KUIU packs, now Outdoorsman's tripods. They've given away 100 phone scope adapters. And every month, this month, 6 Outdoorsman's machined aluminum tripods and heads. This is a great value, guys, and I just wanted to bring attention to that. If you're not already an Insider member, go to gohunt.com/insider, click on the blue Join Now button, use the J. Scott promo code when you sign up, and you'll get a $50 KUIU gift card automatically for signing up. So I want to thank GoHunt.com for their sponsorship. I'd like to thank you guys, the listeners, for all your support. Thank you for all of the great emails that I get every day from you guys, talking about which episodes you liked, who you want to hear on the podcast, and some of the different topics you want me to cover. That feedback is super valuable, and I just appreciate all the emails that I get. If you'd like to send me an email, you can email me at jscottoutdoors@gmail.com. You can follow along our adventures on Instagram at jscottoutdoors. My associate Dar Colburn at Dar Colburn. We have our website. It's jscottoutdoors.com. Our guiding website, colburnscottoutfitters.com. And also on YouTube, J. Scott Outdoors on YouTube. And also our Facebook. Guys, thanks so much for your support of this podcast. Please support our sponsors, Wilderness Athlete, Utah Hydrographics, Phone Scope, Outdoorsman's, Western Hunter and Elk Hunter magazines, and of course, GoHunt.com Insider. Guys, let's get right to the episode with Adam McLain. Welcome to the J. Scott Outdoors podcast. Today we have Adam McLain of Bivvy Productions. And Adam is an independent filmmaker and a real up-and-coming filmmaker, I might add. And I've always enjoyed checking out Adam's content. Adam, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Jay. How are you doing?
Great. I just got done watching on your website, Bivvy Productions website, your Cape Buffalo video, and It was awesome. First off, I'd have to say you always seem to nail the music. I don't know how you seem to do that, but your music is always spot on. I love you captured like the moment with that Cape Buffalo with the music and such. You did a really nice job.
Thank you for that. Yeah, that's probably the first thing I do when I start editing is I try to find the right music first, and then I start laying out the videos going to the music, so it kind of keeps the viewer engaged with the video and things like that.
That's awesome. Adam, can you give me a little bit of a background? I know you had a bang-up year last year for mule deer, but give me a background on you, maybe a 30,000-foot flyover background on yourself.
Yeah, so I grew up in Arizona, started hunting at a young age, 10 years old, with my dad. He would always take me out hunting with him. Just, fell in love with hunting right away pretty much, and it was a huge passion of mine. And then probably when I was around 14, I bought my first video camera and just started bringing that around, camping trips, fishing trips, and hunting trips. And at first it started out with I just wanted to capture, the memories and stuff like that, the hunts, and pretty much of just me and my dad out there. And then got a little bit more advanced with it when I got older, and it started turning into a big hobby of mine. And from there, it pretty much evolved into a side gig for me. Started doing some filming for some guides and outfitters here in Arizona. Created a really good Vimeo and YouTube channel. And from there, it's just been all uphill since.
That's awesome. I know you've got the chance to film with a few TV shows as well. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I actually just got back from a trip. I was in Oklahoma for 6 days. I was filming for Brotherhood Outdoors with Julie McLain and Daniel Lee Martin. They have a pretty cool concept for their show. They take union workers that are in the union with the Sportsmen's Alliance group, and they take them on pretty much their dream hunts that they always want to go on. So with this hunt, we were in Oklahoma hunting whitetails, and it turned out really good. The hunter, Clayton, got a really nice whitetail, got some pretty cool footage, and their whole production side of things just blew my mind away. They have a very, very well production setup.
Yeah. I follow Julie on Instagram, and she's got a good Instagram page. Your love for hunting, to be clear, I mean, you started out as a hunter, and then, your love for hunting, it sounds like you bought a camera and you started filming just to, capture those memories. At what point in time did you realize that maybe there was a little bit something more there of a passion of filmmaking?
Probably in my early 20s. I started getting way more advanced with it. I filmed my dad's friend's elk hunt in Unit 9, and then I put it on YouTube, and I got a message on YouTube saying, "Hey, can you enter this into my video contest I'm hosting?" Well, that person that messaged me was Corey Jacobson. At the time, I didn't know who he was until I started Googling him and going to his website, and then I found out, wow, this guy, he's a huge elk hunter, big time in the hunting industry. So I entered the video to the contest, and I think that year I won second place on that video. And then the following year, I entered another one into his contest and won first place in it. So it kind of got me going that, my videos, they're pretty decent. I thought they were just okay, but other people were always enjoying them and telling me how they liked how I put my videos together.
Well, the truth, Adam, really is if you're not your own worst critic, I mean, I think, I'm usually pretty hard on myself as well. And so I hear your videos are awesome. But to hear you say, I know you have confidence in what you're doing, but I think it's great that, you're always humble and you're kind of your own worst critic. And,
you edit, you shoot the shots, you edit everything, and you know where maybe you could have done better, whereas someone else maybe is looking at it and has no idea that maybe you missed the shot, just perfect, or maybe, your timing wasn't exactly right. But so I think that's good that you're critical of yourself on that.
Yeah, I'll edit probably 4 different versions of a video before I finally pick the right one I like, and I'll sit on a video for, a month and just keep on watching it over and over again, making, little tweaks here and there just to try to get it out there the best I can. And then when I still publish them out there, I'll rewatch them again. I'm like, oh, I should have done this different. But at the end of the day, not everything's going to be perfect with the videos. And I think, like you were saying, it's the best to be your own worst critic sometimes.
For sure. I got to ask you about that Cape buffalo. So you kind of you lead in with what I think is the buffalo growling or snoring. I couldn't tell. And then you kind of come around the bush, and there's these Cape buffalo, look like they're standing right out there like at 75 yards. Was it growling at you, or was it snoring, or what the heck was going on?
That was a little bit of snoring, and that's their stomach gurgling. They're always digesting their food. But yeah, that was a pretty intense hunt. We were out there, and we spotted it was 3 buffalo at the time that we spotted out in the distance, and they kind of walked off into some thick bush. And we kind of lost them. Then we had our tracker. He got on their tracks, and we tracked them all the way to this open field. And they were dead asleep when we got up to them. And we were in a real tight spot, so we had about 3 PHs there, our tracker, the hunter, and then me. And not all of us could fit in this little tiny spot to get the shot. So they actually sent me around the bushes about 30, 40 yards away from where they were, and got over there, got set up, and at one point towards when the buffalo stand up, the one that Brandon ends up shooting stares right at me and knows I'm so I'm freaking out. I'm trying not to even touch the camera because I'm shaking, so I just have the camera. And I was like, man, this, when he shoots him, he knows that something's right here. It's probably going to run my way and run me over. But as you see in the video, they run the complete opposite way of me. So I was thankful for that.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, I've never really watched Cape buffalo videos as intently as I was watching that one, because it was just wild how they, it just sounded like they were growling, but that was them snoring and gurgling in their stomach. But I mean, the listeners, you guys gotta tune into his Cape buffalo video, because it is awesome. But the interesting thing, I know nothing about Cape buffalo. I mean, zero. But there was a bull in the middle to me that seemed much more heavy. Maybe he wasn't as long. And I wasn't sure which one they were going to shoot in the video. And so when the buffalo stood up, he shot the one on the left, which was an awesome bull. But the whole time I was kind of thinking maybe it was the bull in the middle. But just awesome animals, awesome music. You captured the shot. And more importantly, I think you captured like the essence of that hunt, and I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, it's funny how you mentioned that one buffalo that's sitting there, laying there in the middle, because when we first got up to him, that's the bull I saw too, the one laying in the middle. I'm like, that one's huge. That's probably the one, but there's
he looks like just a dinosaur laying there. I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's huge and everything. And we kind of had miscommunication, because when I got around there, I saw the other bull, and so I got kind of confused myself of, what one do I need to be, tight shot on, and luck. So I just, I backed out the frames a few, and so I just had both of them in the frame. And to be honest with you, I really didn't know at the time what one that he was going to shoot at. But the reason why CBH shoot the one on the left is because that was more of the mature bull. They
Gotcha.
mature bulls over there. The other one was taller, but his bosses weren't solid like the other ones. They were pretty soft still. So he was a little bit of a younger bull, but the other bull was probably like the herd mature bull that he took.
Tired of paying for opinionated hunting consultants and out-of-date information, spending hours reading rules and regulations, applying for tags, and not drawing? We were too. So here at GoHunt.com, we came up with a solution of our own. With the information of draw odds and filtering 2.0 in GoHunt Insider, you now have the most reliable hunting information on the market to date. Choose the type of hunt you want, when you want it, and we'll provide you with the rest. We'll also bring you plenty of other game-changing features you won't find anywhere else. So use someone you really trust to find your next hunt yourself. Visit GoHunt.com/insider and join the movement.
Use the J. Scott promo code when signing up and receive a $50 KUIU gift card. Since 1982, the Outdoorsman's in Phoenix has made it their goal to provide the very best customer service combined with the latest and greatest optics and accessories in the business. Outdoorsman's is the leading designer and manufacturer of high-quality tripods and mounting accessories for any hunter's optical needs. Go to outdoorsmans.com or call 1-800-291-8065 and use the J. Scott promo code until February 28th to receive 10% off all Outdoorsman's packs and pack accessories.
Yeah, that's cool. And then you've got some warthog footage on there. You got a bunch of great stuff now. That was South Africa, is that right?
Yep, that was South Africa. It was by Grahamstown, which is just a little north of Port Elizabeth on the coast.
Oh, cool. That had to be a dream come true trip for you to go over there and see all those animals. And you captured some real crystal clear on the clarity on the video is great.
Yeah, it was a trip of a lifetime for sure.
That's awesome. I know you had a bang-up year last year with mule deer. I believe you started in Mexico in January and then harvested 2 other bucks. Tell me about those bucks and give me a little breakdown on each one.
Yeah. So January 1st last year, I went down to Mexico just to film with Matt Woodward. He had some clients out there. So I went down there and filmed some coues hunts, and one of his clients ended up getting pneumonia when we were out there. And Matt actually had to take him back to the States because he couldn't hunt no longer. So we had some extra tags. So I was lucky enough to turn from the cameraman to the hunter on a mule deer, and Matt got me on a really nice mule deer, and I was able to get a shot off at him and harvest him. And then right after that hunt, I actually flew from Arizona to Colorado to go film a buffalo hunt. And after that buffalo hunt got done, I was driving home from the airport and stopped at Walmart and bought my over-the-counter archery deer tag for Arizona. And got home, didn't unpack yet. Grabbed my bow, grabbed some camo out of my suitcase, and went out in the desert. And a couple hours later, I was tagging my mule deer.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool. I got two nice desert mule deer, and 8 days apart from each other.
That's pretty dang cool for sure. And so that just has now created a monster. I'm sure you were out checking trail cameras today. I'm sure you're. Are you hunt? Well, I guess you can't. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm tracked out.
You can't hunt till January. Yeah.
But I have some bucks located around my house that'll be chased in January 1st. So.
Cool. Are you seeing any rutting yet on your cameras, or can you tell if they're...
A little bit, yeah. There's still a couple. The younger bucks are still a little bit bachelored up with each other, but some of the bigger bucks I do have on camera out in the desert, I can tell their necks are getting pretty swollen, and when I was out there this morning, I saw some decent sized bucks chasing some does around. So it looks like it's starting to pick up a little bit.
That's awesome. Now, is your full-time job videoing and editing and what have filmmaking?
It's about 75%, I would say. when I'm not out hunting, videoing or editing, I do have a part-time job that I do graphic design for a company. So that keeps me busy when, hunting season isn't in full effect.
That's awesome. Again, I'm talking to Adam McLain of Bivvy Productions, and you guys owe it to yourself to go on. It's Bivvy Productions.com. Really cool website. I'm on it now. There's some great videos from South Africa. There's a couple of elk videos on here that are really cool. And, I really enjoyed the Mexico coues deer and mule deer episode last year down there with Matt Woodward, and really cool. And then High Plains Adventure. You've got American bison. I've just been a fan of yours. You did an elk hunt that I really liked, that Perfect Storm. That was a great video. So I mean, you're just gaining momentum every day that goes by. If people want you to do some films for them and edit and shoot some films, they can just contact you through your website?
Yeah, they can go to the website. I have a contact form on there. And then you can go to my Facebook page and message me on there, or send me an email. My email is adam@bivvyproductions.com. So
you also have an Instagram page.
I also have an Instagram page. It's at Adam McLain or just at Adam McLain, and message me through there. You can check out. I'm always posting photos on Instagram daily too. So
awesome. What are some of the hurdles of filmmaking? Maybe starting out, and then hurdles you face even now.
Hurdles is always keeping up with the new technology. There's always new cameras coming out, new different types of equipment. So it's always staying, on top of what's coming out. And, my biggest thing is how can I improve my newest video from my latest video? I try to make my videos a little bit different each time. If you create too many videos that are the same, then it's pretty much watching the same video with a different animal in it every time. So I always try to keep them a little bit different. My biggest thing too is when I'm filming for myself or outfitters, and it's just going to be for YouTube video or just, for social media, I try to keep my videos under 10 minutes. And the reason before that, so I try to keep my videos under 10 minutes. And the reason why I try to keep them under 10 minutes, it's easier for people to stay engaged with them. If you have videos that are longer than 10, 15 minutes, I've seen that people start to skip through them a little bit, or they don't watch the complete videos of them. But it's hard to keep them under 10 minutes, just because I filmed so much. Like when I was in South Africa, I came home and I had over 18 hours worth of video footage. And so I had made 8 films out of 18 hours that were all under 12 minutes long. So that's a big hurdle to stay at.
Yeah, I do. We film a lot of our hunts, nothing of the same production quality and such that you do, but we've always tried to film our hunts. And one thing I can totally agree with you is, I try and get our hunts down because we don't have a lot of the filler and the B-roll and some of the great shots that you do. I'm trying to get our hunts down to basically about 3 minutes. I find, I lose a lot of people, I think, after that 3-minute mark. Obviously, if I had, I don't even know the first thing about putting music together and all of that. But, I find that people's attention span is fairly short. But, one thing, I was watching your videos and they were just clicking right along. You've got good music. And so it's a much higher quality in production than anything I've even attempted to do. And so what are some other hurdles, as far as that you run into as a filmmaker?
Just making sure that you have the shot right, that you're in focus, stuff isn't out of frame. The hardest part about being a cameraman on big trips is, you're the last person to go to bed at night and the first person to wake up in the morning. So at the end of the day, I'm dumping footage into the hard drives, reviewing footage, making sure I got all the shots I need. And then I'm, getting up an hour or two before even the hunters do, just to, get the footage of, them waking up, eating breakfast, getting their equipment together. So sleep, you don't get to sleep a whole lot when you're the main cameraman on trips.
Utah Hydrographics is in the water transfer printing service, and they are open to whatever you can dream up. Choose from a wide range of camo patterns, designs, and colors. Whether it's guns, bows, tools, rifle stocks, vehicles, steering wheels, fenders, dashboards, paint guns, fishing rods, cups, tripods, watches, knife grips, helmets for a local sports team or for your motorcycle, picture frames, mailbox, animal skulls, you name it, they can probably do it. Utah Hydrographics loves taking things that are general looking and turns them into something that looks fantastic and eye-popping. Give them a call and see what they can do for you and receive up to a 10% discount by using the JScott16 promo code. Visit them at utahhydrographics.com or on Instagram at Utah Hydrographics. Wilderness Athlete is committed to improving the health and quality of life for the outdoor athlete by providing field-tested, scientifically validated nutrition and sports performance products. Check them out at wildernessathlete.com and use the JScott promo code to receive 10% off any order in February 2016.
And to take that even a step further, a lot of times, you don't have time to rest during the day. The hunter may take a little nap or what have you. And like you said, you're charging batteries, you're dumping footage, you're, reviewing shots, you're out getting B-roll. I spent a little bit of time around the Meat Eater crew, and Giannis, who used to guide with Darna, Giannis Patelis is the producer over at the Meat Eater TV show. And it's just amazing how, those guys never rest. They're constantly capturing B-roll, constantly trying to get the next shot, set out the script, and so cameraman's work is never done. And for those people out there that think it's easy, man, I've got another thing coming to them. It's not easy, and especially at the level that you do it. You shoot everything yourself, and you edit and then take it to the production floor. Talk to me a little bit about that process.
Yeah, so I go on a lot of these trips. I'm pretty much the only cameraman there. I'll shoot the footage, take it back home. I'll edit it all up, cut clips. If it's for TV, then, you have to send it back to the producers and make sure that, it's everything they want in it, and make sure that, audio's good for when people are getting interviews. It's a lot of work to go into it. Just to reference back from Africa, we were there for, 10 or 12 days. And like I said, I got about 18 plus hours of footage. And right when I got back home, I started editing that, and I didn't finish that until about the end of October. So it took a few months just to knock out that.
How important is it? I know other production companies, they have cameramen, then they have editors, and then they have the production crew. How important is it to you to be the editor and to shoot the shots? And tell me the positives of that.
Yeah, there's huge positives of being able to, to film the hunt and then be able to come back home and edit it, because how the hunt went. It's a lot easier to put a hunt or a video together when you were there, you were filming it, the shots you wanted to get, because I already have an idea in my head of how I want this video to go and what shots I need and where these shots need to be placed in the video. So it makes it a whole lot easier when you're the cameraman and the editor. I've edited footage of other people's, and I had no idea of when the shot's going to occur, where should I put this B-roll that they filmed, how the storyline went. Biggest thing when you're editing videos is just making sure that you're capturing that storyline and putting it together correctly, or it can just get really messed up and ugly.
Yeah. Do you use a DSLR camera for video mostly, or are you shooting with a traditional video camera?
Both. So my main camera is actually a Sony AX100. It shoots in 4K. It has a 18 optical zoom in it, so I can zoom in there pretty good. And what I really like about that camera is it has a 1-inch sensor. And what that is, it just allows a lot of light to come in. So in low light conditions, I'm seeing a lot better through that camera than I would be with another camera that would have a small sensor on it. I really like the Sony cameras just because the higher end ones come with the Carl Zeiss ones on them, so your shots are crystal clear. But I do have a DSLR too, though. I use that camera more for doing time lapse. I use that one a lot for interviews when I'm interviewing people. And that's the Canon 70D, and I have a few different lenses I use with that camera.
Gotcha. And do you do GoPro too?
I do. I have a couple GoPros. I really like using GoPros just, for a lot of filler footage of, mounting them to the trucks or mounting them to a boat. Or like when I was in Kansas a couple of years ago, I was turkey hunting and I mounted one right behind my Dave Smith decoy. And the turkey walked in between the GoPro and the decoy, and I got some really cool footage of that.
There's something about filming turkey hunts that's pretty cool. I obviously love turkey hunting, and they're just a cool animal, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. It's like calling in a 20-pound elk.
Yeah. Yeah. Who are some people out there that you admire and follow their work?
I really, really enjoy watching the Sika films. Mark Seacast produces those, and he does an awesome job doing those short films with Sika. And then Jim Shockey's son, Brandon Shockey, he is just phenomenal behind the camera and just an awesome editor. I take a lot of tips from him. And then some local guys in Arizona, Jay Park and Chase Christopher with 7K. I really enjoy watching their videos and getting some ideas from them. I think they do an awesome job how they put their videos together.
Yeah, I like all those guys you mentioned. I especially like Chase and Jay, and I think they do a fantastic job. It's I'm a fly fisherman. Love to fly fish, and I used to love to snow ski, and Warren Miller obviously made and still makes unbelievable skiing films, and it seems like the fly fishing guys have they kind of caught on early making cool fly fishing films, much like the cool skiing films, and a lot of your stuff kind of reminds me of kind of more of that edgy, kind of that cool music, and that kind of I don't know what the word is, but it's kind of got that hardcore kind of fly fishing. You know what I mean? It's just kind of cool.
Yeah, exactly what you're talking about, and yeah, I totally agree with you. That's the way I like to put my films together, and people watch my films, and I don't do a whole lot of talking or interviews in my personal films at all. I just try to capture the story the best I can and put it together with the right music and just have it all flow together.
Why do you think traditional media and TV shows, a lot of them have, they're starting to catch on, but it just seems like the traditional, interview the hunter, it just seems like everybody followed the same norm for a long time. Do you think that's just human nature to just follow into a rut and do the easy thing?
I think so. With TV, I see why they have to do it sometimes, because they have to kind of tell the storyline. Obviously, a lot of TV shows, they have their sponsors. So, a lot of it's, dealing with the sponsors too, of how the sponsors want things to go. So so they have to always, give a shout out to their sponsors, and you have to show the equipment they're using, and so a lot of TV shows are alike. But I think that's starting to change a little bit. I've been seeing more and more that they've been starting to go a little different of a direction, especially with Jim Shockey's show Uncharted. I think that's probably one of the best TV shows out there for hunting right now.
Yeah, it's you feel like you're there. It's real.
Yeah.
Sometimes sometimes the shot might be shaky. It might be, but you feel like you're right in the action, and I think people really can resonate with that.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed you in a lot of photos. You like KUIU gear like myself. Tell me about which KUIU gear you like and why you like it.
I think I like all KUIU gear. There is no best piece out there. I have, that's my go-to for gear-wise is KUIU. I do have some Sitka, but the KUIU definitely outweighs the Sitka gear.
Which do you like?
What's that?
Go ahead. I interrupted you. I was going to say for jackets, are you a super down guy or a Kenai guy?
Both. I actually have both jackets. I like the Kenai just because it's that quiet material. It's not like the real scratchy stuff. But the other super down stuff I like a lot though too. It's because it's wind resistant. It's water repellent. It's
so light.
It's so light, yeah. When you shed layers and stuff in your backpack, it folds down to nothing. It does, I always carry a lot of camera gear. I always have 2 tripods on me, my binoculars, everything. So that's what I really like about KUIU gear is that it folds down to nothing. You put it in your backpack and you have tons of room for your other equipment.
Yeah, speaking about the super down, I always have that in my backpack, unless it's dead middle of the summer in Arizona. As soon as it starts to just smidge, cool off at all, I've always got the super down in the bottom of my pack because, I always feel like if I get stuck out or whatever, I can make it through pretty much any Arizona temperature just with that super down jacket. It may not be comfortable in, middle of December and it's, 18 degrees out, but I can make it through. Speaking about the Kenai, one of the things about the Kenai is, I like it also more on the move, like what you're saying, because of the synthetic, it breathes a little bit better and it's got pit zips and, I find to wear that more as an outer shell, even though it's an insulation piece. And I wear the super down, coues deer hunting on the outer shell all the time, hiking around and, hanging it up in the brush and all of that. And, some of my super down jackets, I have a couple of them have, duct tape on them and what have you. But I find that Kenai to be, like you said, a little bit quieter material. It's a smidge heavier than the super down, but there's a lot of features that I like. I'm still partial to that super down though. I think if I had to choose, I would probably lean towards taking the super down. But I like them both. What other KUIU gear do you like?
I really, for especially Arizona, during the hotter months that we hunt, is their Tiberion pants. They're so lightweight and thin and breathable. I think that's probably my favorite piece, actually. So I do a lot of, August and September hunts in Arizona, and it's hot here, and you try to not wear as much as you can. So that piece that KUIU made is probably my favorite piece by far.
Yeah, I actually got the KUIU Tiburon shorts first, and wore them all summer. I actually had 2 pair of I had a gray pair and an olive pair, and wore those all summer long fishing. It's pretty much what I wore out of the boat. I pretty much row all summer, and my friends and wife and such, they fish, and I loved those shorts. I liked them so much. I got several pairs of the Tiburon pants and wore them elk season. And just love them. The air just blows right through those pants. It's definitely not a pant you want to wear when the weather gets colder, because literally like the quad rides and such, that air just blows right through that pant. But conversely, in the warmer, warm turkey hunts or elk hunts or those early archery deer hunts, I mean, they're just money. I love those pants.
Yeah, they are. They're, like I said, they're my favorite piece that they make. I have probably 5 different pairs of them. And like you, I have the shorts too. And whenever I go fishing, that's what I'm always wearing too, are those shorts as well.
That's awesome. Do you have a bunch of points for any species in Arizona, or do you have any hunts yourself personally that you're eyeballing coming up here in 2016?
So point-wise, I have 14 for antelope. Been trying to draw a archery antelope tag for a few years now. I did draw archery antelope back a while ago with only 3 points, and now it's taking me 14 to redraw it again. So for elk, I have 5. So I'm hoping for the units I put in for elk 2016, I'll get drawn. But stuff coming up soon. Just I'll do archery mule deer beginning of next month. I did buy a reservation turkey tag though for the St. Carlos.
Nice.
That, and then I drew.
Have you done that before?
I have not done that before. I've always heard good things about it. And then I was just one day last year, I was just on their website and I saw that they had some hunts still available for the second hunt. So me and a few buddies called them up and purchased some tags. So I'm really excited to do that this year.
Yeah, the San Carlos, I would say that I probably hunted it like 10 years in a row, and me and my cousin and Dar and a couple of my buddies, we used to hunt it all the time, and I've had some great fun there. Had weird weather come in and had 18 inches of snow on the ground, and the birds stayed in the tree till 10 o'clock in the morning before they even flew down. And I mean, I've seen it hot there, I've seen it cold there. It's a neat place. I've been fortunate to hunt elk there, and it's a neat place for turkey. It's a big country, and I think there's 200 tags on the first hunt and 200 on the second.
Yep.
Maybe off a little bit there, but generally, there's places that you can get away from people. Certainly, there's places where you get, a lot of people like to go, but in my mind, it beats state land, a lot less pressure than state land. So that's cool. You've got the second hunt. I usually notice that they gobble a little bit better on the second hunt. One of the things I like about the second hunt typically is those gobblers are usually broke off and, kind of really out looking for hens. And so I think you made a good choice there with the second hunt. The first hunt, a lot of times those birds are still kind of winter flocked up, and if you find the birds, you can be in a pile of birds. But for just individual calling, I like that second hunt better. It's later. It's just a better time, I think.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I've just heard nothing but good things about hunting St. Carlos for turkeys. So I'm pretty stoked.
Well, did you draw a Arizona state land turkey tag?
I did. So then the weekend after that, I drew the second season for Arizona, which is a little tougher, but it's in my favorite unit 4A. So I'll go up to 4A with my dad, and we'll try to get them on the second hunt up there.
Have you guys heard about PhoneScope? PhoneScope is a privately held company that makes custom-molded, precisely engineered smartphone digiscoping adapters. Photographing wildlife has never been easier. Take digiscoping photos and videos from your smartphone and share them with your friends. PhoneScope stands behind their product with a 100% money-back guarantee. PhoneScope is the future of digiscoping. Get yours now. Use the JScott16 promo code and receive 10% discount on all purchases. Check them out at PhoneScope, that's PhoneSkope.com, or on Instagram at PhoneScope. Whether you are interested in elk, deer, antelope, bighorn sheep, or moose, Western Hunter and Elk Hunter magazines will bring the adventure to your mailbox. These publications feature articles on the finest hunting gear, tips and tactics from experienced hunters, field judging trophies, glassing techniques, calling strategies, and much more. To become a more knowledgeable and skilled hunter, subscribe today. Go to westernhunter.net/jscott and enter your email address for a chance to win a $1,500 credit towards any Swarovski product.
Awesome. And does your dad, you said you grew up hunting with him when he was 10. Is he as avid a hunter as you are?
I wouldn't say as avid as me. He likes his favorite things to hunt is, elk, bear, and turkey, all in Arizona. He doesn't do a whole lot out of state hunting, but he's in the woods every September, every spring, chasing elk, chasing turkeys around if he has a tag or not. So he makes time for it.
That's awesome. And Adam, you're based here out of Phoenix, Arizona metro area?
Yes, I am. Just right outside of Scottsdale area.
Gotcha. Well, it's been awesome talking to you today on the podcast, and look forward to seeing your work here in the future. And I would encourage the listeners out there to go check Bivvy, Bivvy Productions.com out and check out Adam McLain's awesome videos, and I know they'll be happy when they go there and check them out because it's just everything's put together so cool. You've got a great website here, and encourage you to go check out Adam's Facebook page and Instagram. You got any parting thoughts?
No. If I would just say if you're ever interested in filming your hunts, just go buy a video camera. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Biggest thing is just, learning your camera and knowing where your record button and zoom button's at, and, just do it for more of the memories than anything, because then you can look back at it, someday and just be like, yep, I did this. This was fun, and, these are the memories I created.
Yeah, I totally agree. Darn, I seem like we've been running a camera now for, a long time. I still have some of the old cameras, and it's amazing to see how small they've gotten and how good, even as small as they are. You used to have a big giant camera to have some of the capability that the small ones do. I actually have a Canon G10, just a little camera, and I've had it for 3 or 4 years now, maybe 5 years. And it shoots good video for what we're doing, and do a lot of digiscoping and what have you. Well, Adam, thanks for being on the show, and I appreciate your support, appreciate your time, and God bless you, and look forward to seeing what you kick out this year.
Awesome, Jay. Thanks for having me. I had a great time.
All right, buddy. Sounds good. Take care.
You too.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode with Adam McLain as much as I did, and I encourage you to go check out his work. I also wanted to let you know a podcast listener, Darren Freestone, has come up with a 2016 Coues Bucks of Arizona calendar, and he has sent me a calendar, and there's some awesome photos each month. The photo of some great bucks. I especially like, there's several bucks that I like. I like the April buck. He's kind of lip curling, and the July buck. It's a really neat photo of a coues buck with his eyes kind of squinted. Just a really neat calendar. Darren lives here in Arizona, and he's been making these calendars for several years. If you're interested in checking out these calendars, you can contact him at 602-920-4818.